Last weekend, I played at RBET Orlando, almost topped, but I misstepped and threw a game, which ended up costing the match, which ended up causing us to bubble at 21st. Thankfully, the guy I lost to was a really cool and honest guy, and he ended up making it to the finals, so huge shout out to him. Here's the list that I brought to the tournament. Very standard stuff for the most part. I had a snowman instead of a third swap frog. Game 1 snowman was really nice and helped me win 2 matches. I definitely would not have won if that was a swap frog, but it's a commonly cited card, so it doesn't look too out of place. This is the card that I think is being slept on for post-board games. It was a staple in older formats like GOAT, but it slowly faded into obscurity by the time we got Power Crypt to Edison. You definitely shouldn't main deck it, but one of the most commonly cited cards versus frogs is Fossil Dyna to stop Treeborn from coming back. They'll summon Fossil Dyna, hit you for 12, and often set some protection to go with it. There is no better card than Breaker for breaking this board, and I will admit I'm not as experienced with frogs as other people, but I have been loving this card so far. I don't cite it versus Blackwing or Hero Beat because they can just run over it afterwards with most of their monsters. The main matchup that I brought this for was Vayu Turbo because a lot of their normal summons are smaller than Breaker, so even if they don't have a Dino, you'll often get really good advantage with it. Another tough matchup is Glad Beast, and this thing runs over a lot of Glad Beasts. In round 5, I was 4-1 and got paired versus a matchup that most people would agree is not frog favored at all, and this card along with Dust Tornado and Rye Break helped me beat it. Get 4 back rows, 0 monsters, flips a macro during my standby. I had 1 Treeborn left by that point and summoned Breaker into his board, and he was just like, what the hell? He was not expecting it at all. His other back rows ended up being Mirror Force, Dark Bribe, and Return, which he couldn't use that early in the game, so I was able to clear the macro, get 2 hits in, and he ended up just Mirror Forcing the Breaker later. Pretty good value, I think. Maybe. I don't think I'd add a second since the Frog Hero engine is already tight for normal summons, but I'm a huge fan of this so far. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe it's bad and I'm just really lucky with it so far, but I did hit rank 1 on the ladder with it, which ladder isn't everything, but it also isn't nothing, so I'd say it's a soft indicator that it's pretty good. Oh, but it plays into pulling the rug. I prefer the phrase forcing the card. If it forces your opponent to activate the rug, it did its job. You won't always be able to snipe pulling the rug with Dust Tornado, and if they're forced to use their rug on Breaker, that is 1 less rug versus a much scarier card. Like and subscribe, and let me know if you want more of this type of content.